Alright, welcome everyone. Welcome to the first ever episode of my first ever podcast called Rugu's Corner. So in this podcast, I'm just going to talk about my experiences with Nintendo games, with Nintendo products, consoles, and whatever. So I try to make no cuts whatsoever. So if I make a mistake, hopefully you understand I need to start the sentence from the beginning, start over. So not the entire podcast, of course, but like a sentence or something. Of course, I hope I'll get better at it over time, because I have no experience with talking to the camera for such a long time without cuts, except for streaming. But also on streaming I make some breaks if I want to focus on the game. But okay, I won't talk forever and forever. I know it's very boring. So today I just wanted to talk about I think a pretty interesting topic, and that will be my history with Animal Crossing and with Nintendo. So how I found out about Animal Crossing, how I found out about Nintendo. So hopefully you can hear me well and everything. I have my microphone set up right here, so you can just play this podcast and do some other stuff. I don't know. It's not going to be on streaming platforms as of the release, but after some months, maybe if you're from the future, you're listening to the audio version. But otherwise, hi, welcome to the video version. Okay, let's get straight to the point without further ado. Let's get to our first topic, and here is the intro of the podcast. Rugu's Corner. So how do you like it? How do you like the music? Once again, for the third time, the first topic will be my story with Nintendo. So here's the first topic, I guess. So of course I heard about Nintendo, like everyone knows who Mario is, of course. So of course I heard about Mario from time to time, about Nintendo, and the Switch was popular like in 2019. That's when I think the first time that I really found out about the Switch. So I saw a cool ad in September of 2019 of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, that cool remake of the game from the Game Boy. So I saw that cool ad with a boy playing on the bass. I think it was the teal Nintendo Switch Lite, and I really like the concept of the Switch. Then I was watching different videos about the Switch. Yeah, I really like it. I even made a cardboard or a paper version of the Switch for myself, and I really wanted one. But I already had the PS4, so I sticked to the PS4 for a while, and then forgot about the Switch. Not entirely, but I wasn't thinking about it all the time. And then I think it was, I checked, I thought it was in 2022. Or in 2021, but then when Animal Crossing New Horizons became popular in 2020, in spring, I think it was in May, I recently checked that I downloaded the Pocket Camp, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, the mobile game. So I had no idea it was in 2020, but it was. So I downloaded it, played, I think, if I remember correctly, for a couple of minutes, and then deleted it. Then I think in 2021, after some time, I came back to it and did the same thing. Can I say that? Is it considered a spoiler? Did some main quests at the beginning of the game, a few quests, and then again deleted it. Then it was in 2022, in January, I became interested in Lego Super Mario, because I've been a Lego fan for years, but then I had my break from Lego in 2020, and then in 2022 at the beginning I started to become interested in Lego again, especially in Lego Super Mario or stuff, that stuff that can move, all of that stuff. So I watched quite a lot Lego Super Mario reviews, and then also I became interested in Mario. So Also, a few months before that, I downloaded Super Mario Run, another mobile game based on New Super Mario Bros. U. Also played it for a while, but yeah, then I became interested in Mario after that Lego Super Mario thing, and again downloaded Mario Run, really liked it, started reading more facts about Mario, then about different Nintendo games, and then I found a cool YouTuber who played, I think it was Mario 3D World, and also that Zelda game that I was dreaming of playing in 2019, and then I became interested in Animal Crossing again. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I remember I downloaded Pocket Camp in February that year, 2022. Played Pocket Camp, started watching videos about New Horizons, didn't think about buying the Switch like seriously yet. It was just in the back of my mind, and then that thought started to be like, you know what I mean, bigger, you know what I mean. I started to like want the Switch. I wanted the Switch more and more and more. After watching all of those videos, I saw like turnip trading, different house customization options in the game. It was just amazing for me, and the concept of a game that plays in real time. So of course, we probably know. And by now, if you're watching this podcast, you're probably a Nintendo or an Animal Crossing fan. So you know, like when it's 8 p.m. in real life, it's also 8 p.m. in the game. You probably know about that already, right? What was that? Yes, so moments like that will happen from time to time, especially at the beginning. I was talking about, yeah, I started to watch more and more videos, and it was just amazing for me. And then I was like, I am going to buy a Switch. And then after some time, I finally got my Switch, and then my first game was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And then after a few weeks, on April 11th, 2022, I got Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm recording this on April 13th, so 2 days ago was the second anniversary of my island. Of course, second is 2024. So I didn't play the game 2 days ago, but I played yesterday, a cool fishing tourney, along with It's Me Carraleigh. She's also a really cool Animal Crossing YouTuber. So I think she recorded a video from that fishing tourney. So it'll be, I think on Tuesday, it'll be up on her channel. I leave the link in the description if you want to check that out. But yeah, and then I fell in love with Animal Crossing more and more and more. And that's basically my story of how I got into Nintendo. I mean, I could like say more details. Before I had a Switch, I played also Mario Kart Tour, the mobile game, for a while. There's also one more, Fire Emblem Heroes, I think. But I'm not really interested in those. What's the genre of it? Sorry, Fire Emblem fans, like, is it an RPG, a JRPG? Sorry for that, but I'm not like a Fire Emblem fan. Then, like last year, I started playing it to get some Nintendo Platinum points so I can get those cool rewards. But I'm not really big fan, but not like it's a bad game. It's just not my type of game, but it's definitely great for those who like those types of games. And yeah, then in 2023 in March, I got my 3DS to play New Leaf, mainly Animal Crossing New Leaf. And then last month in March, I got my Wii U to play before the online shutdown. It's sitting right there. So yeah, that's basically my story of how I got into Nintendo. And now I want to explain more of this podcast. So as I said, it's only going to be in this video version now. It's not the end yet, so don't turn it off yet. But so far, it's not that bad. Like, I can talk and I can talk pretty smoothly, I think. But again, if I make a mistake, then I'm not going to cut it. So, yep. But there's going to be a new episode every 2 weeks. So, I'll always, or most of the time, I will be recording it on Saturdays. It's Saturday the 13th of April the 13th, 2024 on Saturday, and it comes out tomorrow on the 14th. Then the next one will be on the 28th. I'll be recording it on the 27th. And there will be, of course, guests, hopefully, on the podcast from time to time, like once a month or every 2 months. Of course, there's a collaboration on the channel. If you didn't know already, at least every month there's a collaboration in my new feed series. Feed because featuring, and then I short it. Sometimes you write it as feed, like F A. Not A. FEAT. Did I say it correctly? Yeah. And then you put a dot there, so that's the name, feed with a dot. So that's how you read it. And yeah, hopefully there's going to be some guests on the podcast. Maybe we'll talk about some Nintendo stuff. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, every 2 weeks, I think that'll be fine for now. Maybe I'll miss some weeks. I'll try not to. I think almost everyone says that at the beginning, like they will miss some weeks. Of course, it is always great to say that to your fans, in case they are always waiting and then they are just disappointed. But I'll try to get the podcast to you. Maybe it's going to be sometimes a shorter one, a longer one. I aim with this one, I don't know, like for 40 minutes or something like that. Maybe something shorter, maybe an hour, sometimes maybe half an hour, maybe this one will be 20 minutes. Who knows? So let me do a short break now, or maybe not, or maybe not. So the next segment will be, I have no idea. Okay.
Next topic, because why not? Next topic, because why not?
Okay, I think you can hear me now again. So, welcome to the next segment, and now we're going to talk about a cool patent for a Nintendo console that Nintendo patented a few months ago. So it's a really cool idea for this console that kind of looks like a 3DS. If you're watching the video version, that's the only one you can watch as of the release, but maybe if you're watching this after a few months, then I try to describe it. So it's kind of like a 3DS, so it has 2 screens, but those 2 screens are kind of at the different sides, so at the back and at the bottom of it. So like in reverse, so the 3DS folds, but now imagine it folds with the 2 screens on the outside of the outside, not on the inside when it's closed, but on the outside. So you can kind of imagine the screens are here and here on the outside. So then you put it like that, and then there's a screen here and a screen on the other side. So it's kind of like a triangle with the screens on the sides, and you can play like with 2 people. So there's 2 screens. And for example, you can play Mario Kart. One person plays their character, like for example Isabel here, and imagine Tom Nook is in the next Mario Kart. So the other person can play as Tom Nook on this screen, and it's cool. Like in the games, I don't know, this cool little game Battleships. Like there's a version like a real one, like a board game, and also there's a cool site. I need to check the name, but a few weeks ago I found a cool site when you can play .io games, papergames.io. So HTTPS, all of those different symbols, whatever, you know what I mean. Or maybe I say it in Polish, like symbol, those different slashes and dashes and whatever. Either way, paper games, all close together, .io. So that's a really cool site. You can play quite a few games there, and battleships. So if you want to play this game, I won't like describe it like in detail, but if you want to play this game, you cannot see like other persons map or a game, you know what I mean. So that would be great if you have to play games like that. You cannot see other person's screen, and one person can play here and one can play on the other side. And then also you can also move it. So now imagine it's, yeah, this triangle on the outside, but then you can also on the outside. So like this is the outside. I won't bend my 3DS, but imagine. And then you can fold it like the 3DS normally, and then you can play 3DS games. So it can be like that, with the screens on the outside, or like that with the screens on the inside like the 3DS. So Animal Crossing New Leaf, Mario Kart 7, you can play all of this stuff. Then new games like this, like I described just a second ago. Sorry, I was just drinking some water. Either way, I think that would be really, really fun. And then maybe also detach one screen and detach another, so you can play like in handheld. Of course, maybe it would be smaller than the Switch, because like 2 Switches, that would be pretty big. But also, I was describing on the stream one time, and one of the subscribers said, one of the subscribers said that it would be so much battery waste, and that's actually true. Like the battery would die pretty fast, I think, pretty quickly. Or maybe it would like be 2 batteries of a Switch or a 3DS. Something like that. I mean, the 3DS can still maintain 2 screens with this battery, but then I imagine it as a bigger one than the 3DS. So maybe like 1.5 of battery of the 3DS, or one, or no, one. No, we need more than one, right? So like also 1.5 of battery of the Switch or the 3DS. I think the Switch would be better, so we can play for longer. But I think that would be a really cool idea. So it was patented a few months ago by Nintendo, so other companies cannot use it. That's what a patent is. If you didn't know, you're welcome. But so you can patent something, and then no one can use this idea except for you, for your company that patented it. So I don't know if they're going to really make it reality. Maybe it's going to be the next console, maybe it's going to be the one after that, maybe in 10 years, in 20 years, in more than that. Maybe they're not going to release this idea, they just wanted a patent for it, but I think it would be just great. It would be amazing. I'd love to play it like with a friend or a family member, play like that, I don't know, in a coffee shop or something, in a cafe, just at home. I just think it would be pretty creative. So yeah, but definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this idea. And now let's get to the next segment. What I recently played. Okay, so I was like, I still need to talk about something. I forgot, right? And I forgot. So I need to talk about Animal Crossing City Folk. So I recently started playing it last month, at the end of the month, and I played for a few days, and then I play every few days. Yeah, every few days. And now I haven't played like for a week. I really need to get back and get some motivation to keep going and expanding my town of Birenji. So Birenji is, I think it means a village in Japanese. I probably pronounced it a little bit wrong, but still. And I wanted to name my town like that. And then I like wrote it, and in my head I'm like, what was the name? And I wanted to check, and I checked, it's Birenji, and then I'm like, what was it? Birenji? And then I just decided to call it Birenji, because that was the name that was in my head all the time, and if it was called Birenji, then I would be like Birenji. Oh no, it's called Birenji, not Birenji. Maybe not, maybe when I would name it like that, then not, but still. I named it Birenji because that was the name that was in my head, even when I had it here as in my notes as Birenji. I was like Birenji, so I decided to keep the name that I memorized as the real name of my town. So, I started playing City Folk recently, and I gotta say, it's really great. Many people say that it's the worst Animal Crossing game in the series, but I don't know why. Like, every game is awesome in its own unique way. Maybe because it didn't add like as many things as Wild World. It didn't change as much as Wild World. That it's similar to Wild World. That the music is the same, but still, it's, you can call it an improved version of Wild World. Like, I know there's some differences. Wild World also has some unique things that City Folk doesn't have. But still, it's not worse than Wild World or any Animal Crossing games. I don't like to do a tier list or something of them, because every single one of Animal Crossing games is special in its own unique way. But yeah, I definitely recommend it if you have a Wii or a Wii U, if you have the opportunity to play it, to check out Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City or City Folk. It's called Let's Go to the City in Europe, if you didn't know already. There's a cool manual inside. I recorded a cool unboxing video of it, so I don't know if I should show it to you now. There's quite a lot of stuff, like also like a Wii booklet promoting Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Mario Galaxy, PES 2008, Pro Evolution Soccer, Mario Kart Wii, Wii Fit, Wii Music, then also Wario Land, the Shake Dimension. I had no idea about that. There's a Wario Land game on the Wii U. Okay, call me a fake fan, call me whatever you want, but I didn't know about that. That is pretty awesome. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Big Brain Academy. Oh yeah, I love the demo of the Big Brain Academy for the Switch. Definitely recommend you check out the demo. I still need to buy the full game, but still, Big Brain Academy for the Wii, Super Mario Party 8, and then also Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City or City Folk. So that's the Wii booklet, and also then the Let's Go to the City manual. There's a lot of stuff inside. I don't know if I show every single page in my unboxing. Maybe I should. So I'll see if I need to record anything extra. Then we have some safety, health and safety instructions and precautions booklet, and also one more small booklet with Club Nintendo. So there's like this hidden code here that I need to like scratch, or a sticker. Expires what, in 2012. So of course I'm not going to use that. Also, Club Nintendo is now replaced with My Nintendo. So yeah, also the disc looks really nice. Sorry, audio viewers again. Audio listeners, I mean, you're not viewing anything. Or maybe you are listening to the audio version and also watching the video version at the same time. You synchronize it. I don't know why you would do that, but I won't question that. Okay, I won't. So the game is really fun. I have played one holiday so far, the Bunny Day event, and it's really fun. Like, but I was kind of surprised you cannot. You cannot like crouch. You know, like can you call it? Can you consider it crouching? You know, when you want to catch a bag and then you slow down. I'll show it for the video viewers here. You know. So, is it called crouching or just, you know what I mean? I probably, let me know in the comments. I probably know the word, but I just forgot about it now. Okay, I am back here, so I'm kind of surprised, but it was really hard for me to catch fishes at the beginning. You know, you use this Wiimote and the nunchuck, so the motion controls to control it, so it's kinda different. But you don't have to like move your, let me show it again, move your Wiimote all the time. You can use the nunchuck and only use the Wiimote for certain actions, certain things. The plus, the minus button to open different menus, to open your pockets, the map. But you don't need to use it all the time, so at least that is great if you don't like it. I mean, I like it, but of course, I'm not going to like do that with my hand, like from one side of the TV to another, like for a few hours. But you don't have to do it like that. Just a slight gentle move will be enough to select different stuff in your pockets. So if you are wondering, should you buy a City Folk, then I definitely recommend it. Then I definitely recommend you to try it if you have the opportunity to try it. If you can try it, if you have a Wii or a Wii U, definitely I recommend to try it. I bought also a few other games for it. So Super Mario Maker, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U a few days ago, like on April 8th, the day of the shutdown. Splatoon, Nintendo Land, New Super Mario Bros. U, that was included with my Wii U. On the 3DS, if you are also wondering, I have Hey Pikmin, Detective Pikachu, and also Animal Crossing City Folk, not City Folk, New Leaf, Welcome Amiibo. You probably was like, City Folk for the 3DS? Okay, either way. Now let's go to our last, or almost the last segment of this podcast, and that is Hidden Gems. Hidden Gems, they are so good. So in every podcast I have like few segments. So I for example at the beginning I talk about what I want to talk about. So if there's like a new Nintendo Direct, or I want to tell a story, my story with Nintendo, I'll talk about that. Then the next segment will be the game that I've played recently, so that's City Folk now, and then also Hidden Gems, or also other games. Also one more segment, other games like indie games or games from other developers than Nintendo. Oh, I know which game I'll talk about. It's an Apple Arcade game, a really cool one, but not in this one, this segment, the next one. But in this one, I wanted to talk about a really cool game, a hidden gem for the 3DS. It's a spin-off of one of the most popular series of all time, not only Nintendo series but of all time, definitely video game series, definitely one of the most popular series that the 3DS is known for, and that is a Pokemon, and that game is Detective Pikachu. So there's a new one, Detective Pikachu Returns, the second part, the sequel, on the Switch now. So I don't know if you have played that. I'm also still only on the first quest, and I have played for quite a lot. Like quests take longer in Detective Pikachu Returns, I think, or maybe I'm just like so slow and I'm just playing like 15 minutes every 3 months, and that's why it kind of seems slow for me, and I wanted to beat Detective Pikachu like in a few days, because I got it like on October 3rd or something like that, October 2nd, October 1st, something like that, and the sequel is coming out on October 6th, so I had like 4 or 3 days to beat this one, the first one, and I beat it on the day of I wanted to beat it the day before, but finally I did it on the day of the release of the Pikachu, like it was 9 p.m. and then I jumped onto the Pikachu Returns for like an hour, half an hour before sleep. Oh, I mean, the good old days. I mean, it was only like 6 months ago, but still it was pretty awesome. But yeah, let's get straight to the point. So, Detective Pikachu, it's a really great game. I would say it's a hidden gem, because not many people talk about it, I feel like, but I feel like they should talk about it. The music's nice, and especially the vibes are great. It's not like if you're looking for like a challenge, like I have not played any of the games in that series, but maybe I could compare it to Professor Layton. So if you, I think it's a more challenging detective like game with solving mysteries and all of that stuff. I'll just adjust my hair here. All right, but it's not, I think Detective Layton is quite hard. Professor Layton, sorry, Professor Layton. I said Detective Layton before. I meant Professor Layton. I think Professor Layton is much harder than Detective Pikachu, but it's not that hard. But still, sometimes you still need to think. But then, also you can like, there's 3 choices. If you're wrong with the first one, then you can try again. If you're wrong with the second one, then you can try again, and then eventually be correct with the third one. So there's not like a really big challenge to it. But I really like it. I like the mysteries. The storyline is great. Not the difficulty of the game. But I mean, it's not bad. But as I said, it's not as challenging. But the best part of the game for me is the storyline and the vibes of it. Like, you find out different things. There's like sometimes cliffhangers, so you already want to play the next chapter. It's really interesting, and I definitely recommend everyone also with a 3DS to play it. Detective Pikachu, really great game. I see a lot of people saying that Detective Pikachu Returns is worse. I don't know. It's quite different. The vibes are quite different, but I won't say anything more until I beat it. So in like a few podcasts probably, you know, with my pace of playing games that I started when there was the release, then there was a different game that I wanted to play, so I just leave the game right here and put it aside for a few months. Yeah, I played it like a month ago. Again, like for 2 days in a row, 2 days straight, or 1 day maybe even. For like 15 minutes or like half an hour, so still not long, not for long. But with my pace, probably I'm going to talk about it when I beat it in the 100th episode of this podcast. So like, I don't know, in a year? No, not in a year. Every 2 weeks that's going to be more. Like 3 years, 2 years, who knows? Basic math probably, but still, either way. I definitely recommend you to play the first one, the second one also, but especially if you have a 3DS, I recommend you to play the first one. I remember getting it in October, I think October 3rd. Then I was riding the bike across my neighborhood here. I saw a lot of, I think it was Slowpoke in Pokemon Go. That's when I started playing Pokemon Go, only last year, like when I was playing a lot, because I started playing in February last year, but only like for a few days. Also, I haven't played Pikmin Bloom in a long time. I need to play Pikmin Bloom, and maybe I'll talk about it in the next or the third episode, or who knows in which one. But I'm going to also talk about it. But Detective Pikachu. I remember riding my bike here across the neighborhood, playing Pokemon Go. I saw a lot of Slowpoke, so I was catching each one and each one and each one and each one in the same place, and I was like, I stopped so I can still catch all of those that are there. And then I went home, and I was playing the game here. I think, yeah, I was sitting on this cool gaming chair there, close to this table, with my 3DS on the table, the vibes of Pikachu, who likes coffee. Yeah, I really didn't like coffee back then. Like, I hated coffee. I tried coffee a few times, and I was like, ew, no, that is not good at all. I always mix like, no, I wanted to say it's sour, but no, sour is like the lemon taste, right? I always mix it, and I forgot what was the taste of like that coffee for me called. Yeah. It's sour is like the lemon, the lemon taste. So what was it called? Alright. I need to stop talking for a second, alright? Yeah, because I was like thinking and talking to you. Bitter. Oh, bitter, right? Bitter. I forgot. Of course it's bitter, yeah, now I remember. So it was like, it's so bitter, I don't like it. And then a month later in November I tried it with like some honey or some sugar, and then like it's so good. And then like I wanted to drink it every single day, so I drink it like now like every 2 days or something like that. I drink coffee or tea, and now I like coffee, so I can relate to the Detective Pikachu. I think there was also someone in the game. I don't know, was that a kid? Because kids, I think, usually don't like coffee, or maybe someone else. Who said that coffee isn't good, and then Pikachu said it's a what did he say? It's a refined, something like that. A refined taste for detectives. Yeah, I think he said something like that. A refined taste. Coffee is a refined taste for detectives or something. And he says every detective detective starts their day with a cup of coffee. Yeah, and he calls himself the Great Detective. So, again, one more time, if you have the opportunity, try Detective Pikachu. And now let's get on to our last segment of today's podcast. What should be the name? Indie Gems? Because only indie games? Maybe, yeah, let's go with that. Indie Gems.
Indie gems. You need to play them. If you can.
So, welcome to the last segment of this Rugu's Corner podcast, the first ever episode, and that'll be Indie Gems. So, that segment will, in this segment here, okay, someone tries, and I cannot make a cut or anything. Either way, in this segment, I'm going to talk about indie games that I have played recently that I really, really like, or maybe not recently, maybe, yeah, the game that I'm going to be talking about with you in just a second is a game that I started playing 4 years ago in February of 2020, and it's an Apple Arcade game. Apple Arcade, if you don't know, is like a Game Pass or a PlayStation Plus. Sorry if I mix it up, but like a service when you get access to some games, like a subscription for Apple devices, for iPhones, iPads, Macs, and Apple TVs. And then in Apple Arcade you can play quite a bunch of really great games. Unfortunately, they are dealing quite a lot of games that were there from the start, from September 2019, or some that came out in 2020, or 2021, 2022, doesn't matter, maybe in 2023, who knows. But a lot of great games, like half of the games that I really wanted to play, they removed, or even most of the games that I wanted to play, like the best ones, the hidden gems of the service that made it worth it, they are deleting, and now mostly there's parts like, for example, there's Crossy Road and Crossy Road Plus. So a Plus game is a game like that was already there in the App Store, but just without ads or without purchases. So I'm not saying Crossy Road Plus is bad, it was just an example. None of those games are bad. Don't think that I'm saying that. All of them are good, are great, and are amazing and awesome. But I'm just saying that they should also have some original games, so there's more value to the service. But there's still one game that still, can you say it like that, holds the service, that still makes it decent. I mean, the game is great, but when it's the only hidden gem that I'm playing, then it makes the service decent for me, you understand? Get it? That make the service still kind of hold up great. And that game is called Sneaky Sasquatch. So in that game you're playing as a Bigfoot or as a Sasquatch, and you're just running around. At the beginning it seems just like that. It's a silly game. When you play as a Sasquatch, you need to steal food. You need to be really sneaky and steal food from like trash cans or from a campsite. You live next to a campsite, and there's rangers that you need to avoid. You can ride cars and do all sorts of fun things. It seems simple in the beginning, but then you realize that there's an entire city, except for the campground. There's an entire city also an entire island, a big port, a big like town, like in the city, like there's a lot of buildings in one part. There's two racetracks. There's like the ski resort, a lot of snowy area, you know, on the ski resort. There's a bus you can ride. No, I'm saying it like you can actually drive the bus, but no, there's just a bus that it can bring you from the crossing to the ski resort. Either way, there's really a lot of stuff in it. There's a golf course, really a lot of stuff for real. And there's also a lot of jobs. It seems that only you can you know, steal food and then sell it to the raccoon shop. But no, there's actually like an entire big an entire big corporation when you can where you can have a job, or when you can where you can work. I always mixed up where and when, I don't know why, but there's an entire big corporation where you can work. There's an entire port and a marina, also entire ferry that you can be the captain of. Also you can participate in races, and there's also a lot of more stuff to it, and there's updates every few months. There was a hospital update, and there will be a fire station update soon. There's also a dog update, so you can have a dog. It's really a fun game for everyone. It seems like stealing, like doing different jobs, like a hospital update. It's what it is that like a Peggy 18 game, like a something like that, like a teen game. No, it's like for everyone. Like I think it's 3 or 4 years up, so really for everyone. And the music is just delightful. So I definitely recommend you to try Sneaky Sasquatch if you have the opportunity. If you have an Apple device and you're willing to pay for the subscription, I think you can get one more free. So try to do that and get as much done in Sneaky Sasquatch as you can, and let me know if you tried it, if you have the opportunity, of course. Unfortunately only on Apple devices, but if you have one, then I definitely recommend you to try it one more time. And now let's close the podcast. So, what do you think about the first ever episode of Rugu's Corner? Please let me know what you think about it, like give me any suggestions, something I could change in it, change the pace, change kind of, you know, the concept, and not entirely, but like tweak some things in it. Let me know. You could also ask me some questions for me to answer in this podcast. That definitely appreciate it. Please, if you're watching this so far, I thank you so much, and I'd really appreciate if you like could ask a question, so we have something to talk about in the next podcast. See you on what will be that, April 28th for the second episode of Rugu's Corner. Thank you so much for watching the first episode. Again, ask questions, give me suggestions, let me know what I could change, improve in this podcast. I try to tweak the settings with the mics. If the mic is something is wrong, I preview it now. So imagine if now it sounded like terribly and I needed to like record the entire podcast again. But if you're watching it that part here, that probably means that everything was fine. You watched the first ever episode from of Rugu's Corner from the beginning to the end, or maybe you skipped to that part with Sneaky Sasquatch, or the ending part. I won't question that. Thank you so much, and see you. I still need to tweak those audio settings now of the track that I just recorded in Audacity. I'm also recording through OBS, the video version, then I'm going to merge this. Also have this sound in OBS in case that from Audacity is worse, but it's probably not. Okay, I'm just rambling for so long, but either way, again, thanks so much for watching the first ever episode of Rugu's Corner, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye!